driver interviews, pit action, industry news. We're bringing you everything that fuels the adrenaline-pumping world of dirt track racing. Buckle up now. You're sitting with the Slimy Bastards. Take it away, Jason.
Are you tired of losing your pit mat at a race? Well, get a hold of 44 Productions. They can customize your team logo, number, name, whatever you want on that pit mat. So get a hold of Tanner or Kelsey at 44 Productions.
Alrighty, welcome to the Slimy Bastard Podcast Show. Another episode. I'm recording here in Mason City, Iowa tonight. I'm pretty excited to have old Jim Chisholm on with me. He's 20 years old, out of Osage. He's running with the US MTS Tour, killing it this year. And welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.
I've been wanting to come up to Deer Creek when you were racing up there with that tour, with this tour up there a couple of weeks ago, and I had other podcasts that I was doing down in Boone and that. But you won up there, you won here in Mason over the last 3 days, just fucking killing it, man.
Yeah, we started the year off a little bit rough, but this last probably a month or so has been going really, really well for us, I'd say. And I don't know what it is different, but I think we just found a little more speed in the car, and it's been working out great.
Sure. Now, you're 20 years old. Is this your first year of doing a full tour with the USMTS, or is it how long have you been running with these guys?
Yep, this would be my first year running with the USMTS.
Okay.
We're not eligible for rookie this year because I won last year, but this is our first full year with them.
Sure. And you're going all over them.
Yep. The farthest we've been away was Vivian, and that was a pretty long haul with our little pickup trailer.
And because you guys don't have a toter or anything.
No,
we're just old school in it, basically, with a truck and trailer and doing it the old school way.
Yep, just truck and trailer the whole time. You
would think with your winnings, you'd kind of chip in and maybe get a new toter or something, will you?
That stuff's a little more outrageous than that.
But you won some serious money in this.
Yep. This year, the biggest race we won was the $5,000 at Ogilvy, but
yeah. But all in all, I mean, you've done really well.
I'm pretty pleased with the way this year's gone so far.
So you've been doing this? You don't do anything in IMCA. It's just USMTS, right?
I've had a few IMCA shows over the year, but that's just here and there. More or less just been USRA my whole life.
Is that because you live in Osage? Is that just because of where you live, or is that just because of the car setup you got, or what's your opinions on that?
A lot of it's just because we used to run at Deer Creek all the time, and that was always USRA. So
okay. And
the cars got a little bit different rule packages, so you can't really mix and match that quite well.
Right. Well, it makes it difficult too. Like because you got some guys that are US or IMCA that are coming over, like Tim Ward and them guys. But yeah, it makes it difficult setting up two different cars basically with the rule changes. But I didn't know if you had a car on backup that you do a little bit in IMCA or not. So
nope, I just got the one.
Sure. Now your brother races. He's going to be on with us. 16 years old, running a B mod, correct?
That's correct.
You guys used to race a little bit together, and how was it?
We spent a lot of time racing each other, all the way back from when we ran the slick shots at Deer Creek and all over the place. And there's quite a few races that we've gone head to head in, and he's won some and I've won some, so it's been a pretty great time.
Do you guys ever, like, when you guys get done racing, does he ever come in and like, I just got you, or you know what I mean? Like, do you one up each other type thing, or are you competitive that way? Or
it's a pretty calm environment, really. I don't think there's too much of that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that it'd be a bad thing. Like, me and my brother were always competitive, and talking smack and all that. So that's what I was getting.
No, there's not a lot of smack talk, but we try pretty hard to beat each other.
Sure. Now, he has a nickname, Smoke. He's talking a little bit about with your dad and that? That was a nickname your dad gave him, or?
I have no idea where the nickname came from, to be honest.
But it kind of sounded the way I got it. It came from your dad, and is just because he's always running around and tearing shit up, and you just kind of see a cloud of dust smoke, or
That very well could be.
So what's next then after Mason City here? What do you got going?
This next week's an off week for us, so we'll probably just go to Deer Creek and get a little testing in for the week after, where we go to, I believe, I-70, Lakeside, and Lucas Oil Speedway. So
Okay.
we raced at Lucas Oil, or Lakeside earlier this year, but I've never been to the other two in a modified. So
Sure. Are you excited for that, or?
yeah, I think it'll be a good little tour for us. This is the only weekend we race at 3 different racetracks in 3 different days.
Yeah.
The only reason we're even doing this tour this year is the way Todd's got it set up, which is super nice for the racers because we're at the same place every night.
Sure.
So
You're not bouncing back and forth and zigzagging around.
It makes it where we don't have a toter rig to sleep in, that we can
Get
this
a
pretty
hotel
easily.
for the whole weekend, and away we go. Yeah. So outside of racing, I mean, you guys have a family farm, and that your dad farms. You help him out. Is that what you?
Yep, Dad's a retired farmer, and then I work at Skyrocket, and then I do a little bit of shock work on the side.
Okay. So over there in Joyce, is that where you're in that shop there? Or?
Yeah.
Okay. So I had Kobe Fett on my podcast a couple of weeks ago, and it was a ball. Like it was a good hour of basically just getting tear up, but really good driver and all that. I'm sure you know who he is, but that win up in Deer Creek you had, I know he was giving you some pretty high praises too on that.
Yeah, Kobe runs runs a Skyrocket that Mike and Pete own, and he tears it up, does super phenomenal about every time it gets on the racetrack. So
yeah. Now, with you being a Skyrocket and all that, do they help you out pretty well then? Are you on that program as well with them, or?
Yeah, Kelly's been a huge help with us.
Sure.
And, been always a great person just having our back pocket and work with.
Right. You know, I've talked to Mike, one of the guys that owned that. Really, really great guy to talk to. And then Jason Breeze and my dad were really close. Good friends, I should say. And but great group of guys to be around, that's for sure. And with that in mind, they're always up in Deer Creek too, on Saturdays too. So do you guys like share a lot of notes together on different tracks and that kind of thing? Does that go on, or? Yeah,
this year we've kind of released a new car that we built, and that's been a learning year, trying to get everyone up to speed and trying a lot of different things and
what to adjust at different things. And I find it interesting you take those different car manufacturers, because you see all the groups, even here, in the same way with IMCA, like down in Boone and that, you got all the Harris guys over here and all the Vanderbilt guys and all the Skyrocket guys. It's kind of interesting seeing all that. But do you ever stop and think, like when you're out there and you're on a caution like yellow and you're driving around, and just the guys and the caliber of guys you're running against? I mean, does it ever get overwhelming, but have you ever had that moment where you're like, holy shit, I'm beating some of these guys? And does that make sense what I'm asking of?
Yeah. When you're in the race car, everyone's just a guy. You can't think about who they are or how they drive. I mean, you got to know how they drive and their little tips and tricks and how they are, but you don't really go back and the praise of them and all that.
Right.
In my opinion. Because everyone beatable. Me, I'm beatable.
Sure.
Everyone's beatable. So you got to go out there with that mentality and run like them.
Right. Because you stop and think of some of the names that you're running against, and you got some big names that you've done really well against. So that's why I was asking those. But outside of racing, what's your hobbies? What do you do?
Pretty much just race cars. That's
it.
That's what I work on for work, and that's what I do in fun time.
Pretty much your hobbies in that too?
Yeah.
Just don't hunt or fish? Or,
no.
Gotcha. You make it life simple then, huh?
Yeah, life's pretty simple.
So in the wintertime, are you just building race cars then?
Yeah.
Is that what, not doing anything? Do you ever go like racing down like in Texas or Arizona or any of them?
Nope, I've never done any winter racing.
Are you going? Or is that something you're going to do? Or
it's something I'd like to do, but I don't know if it really fits in the time frame or budget to do that.
Sure. Now, are you into any music or anything like that, or?
No, not really into much music.
Jesus, man. What? I just gotta give you a hard time.
No, you're
on the
good.
other things. But who's some of the guys you like to thank, and who helps you out, and who gets you down the road, and that you like to share?
At the shop, it's me, my dad, and Joe working on my race car each and every week, and couldn't do it without my mom. When we're around home, my sister Kelly and her husband or her boyfriend Dan, they come and help whenever they can.
Sure.
Kevin Stoa, he's been a super phenomenal help. He lent us an engine to take around all these races for most of the year.
Yep.
Because we didn't have a spare, so we had something to put in. He just did that with the kindness of his heart.
Oh, nice.
He's a super great guy to work with. Anytime we've ever had an issue, he's always been right on top of it and come down to us.
Yeah.
Skyrocket, Kelly, he's been phenomenal to work with, and all the notes and sharing me
Right.
get to do. My girlfriend Kylie, she
Yeah,
puts
you better
up.
not forget her.
Yeah.
'Cause that, God, you'd think you would bring her up first, but
She's not even here tonight. She had to work. she had to work tonight, so
But-
she's working while I'm having fun. And
did you guys go to school together?
nope, we didn't.
So, does she live like here in Mason or locally, or
She lives about 20 minutes away
Okay.
from me, so
does she come to quite a bit of your races then? Or
she was here Thursday and Friday, but she had to work tonight.
maybe that's your missing luck then.
Maybe.
Does she come to quite a bit of shows then?
Yeah,
or-
she normally tries to get to everyone she can.
Oh, nice. So who runs your Facebook page, and is that you or is
That's
that?
my little brother Joe. So
Okay.
Joe's in charge of that stuff. I'm not very good at that.
Gotcha. Because I was just curious, like message you or whatever. Usually, you guys are pretty good to respond back and everything. So
No, that's a little smoke.
yeah, maybe that's why he has that duty then, huh?
Yeah.
So other than that, man, what you named your sponsors and everything like that. Who's somebody else that you want to thank that normally isn't, like, I should say a sponsor, but someone that's like a mentor or that you'd want to bring up that that helps you that way.
It's gotta thank all the drivers on the road, because in all reality, they're what's mentoring you and kind
Sure.
of showing you the different ways and you can race and all that. They don't really know it, but you study how they drive and study their little tips and tricks to learn how they drive, so you can drive around them better, but also how you can improve yourself too. So
Yeah. Now, since you've been winning a little bit, have you been getting a little bit more respect than what you were at the first of the year? If that makes sense.
I think it comes and goes. I mean, everyone has their little bit of people that they have an issue with every once in a while, but on this tour, about 98%, 99% of these guys are super good to race with.
Sure.
You can run side by side, not touch. And
I will say this. I've been to a ton of racing this year, and by far, tonight was probably one of the best races I've seen all year long. I mean, it was just clean racing and fast. I mean, fucking fast. You guys are flying out there.
yeah, Tad did a phenomenal job at the racetrack again tonight. And, the last two nights we started 18th place and come up right around 5th place each night. So
Yeah.
without a racetrack like that, you won't be able to pass. But
Sure. I mean, it was good, clean racing, but you also had great racing. Like there was side by side racing and
I think
crossovers.
about the whole time tonight we were by someone,
Yeah.
either on the inside of us or on the outside. So
And you raced a great race. I mean, you started all the way back. What was it, 18th?
yeah,
Came up to 6th.
that's correct.
So I mean, it was, and you were right there. And I think with a couple more cautions, you would have even been up further than that. But even before that caution, though, you were coming.
Yeah, this place is it's kind of hard without a scoreboard to really know how hard to go, because you don't really know when the end of the race is. So
Do you wish that's something they would add then, or
yeah, for sure.
is there that at other tracks?
Yeah, so like Deer Creek and Ogilvy and
Sure.
a few of these other ones.
Oh,
we went
I see
to.
what you're saying in the infield there, or on the outside there
Yeah.
too. Of
You
where
can see how
guys
many
are-
laps, what lap
Yeah.
you're on, or how many to go. That's a huge
Sure.
help of when to go and when not to
Right.
go. And
Now, don't they tell you that over the race receivers, or
no, you don't. So like tonight,
Really?
you had no idea what lap you're on until the green flag goes
That's-
up and you got 2 laps to
I
go.
wonder why is that at every track, or is that just something here?
It's really hit or miss. Some racetracks have it, some racetracks don't.
Sure, but you think they would though?
Yeah, but this place, I mean, they've done a lot of work here, and this place has changed tremendously.
Sure.
So it's a step up. I mean,
Just
Todd,
a work in progress.
Yeah,
probably
Todd
of-
and John have done a phenomenal job
Sure.
bringing this place around.
And that's Todd Staley that runs
Yep.
that track, and he runs the Webster City track and all
Yep.
that too. You know, I went to that Webster City USMTS race in May, and that was even a great race down there. The one night that I was down there, it was is still a great race. So with that in mind, I wish you the best of luck, man. It's been nice meeting you. Your family's great to talk to, and very approachable and fun to be around. But best of luck to you the rest of this year, man, and welcome. I hope you come back on the show some other time.
Appreciate that.
So with that being said, thanks for listening. Check us out on YouTube, Facebook, all the social links. Our links are up on the link tree. And thanks for listening.
Pit Stop Motorsports, Dirt Tracks Racing, largest inventory trackside parts service. We keep racers on the track, located in Rock Springs, Wyoming, and coming to a track near you. Check us out on Facebook at Pit Stop Motorsports. And tell Slade Pitt the slimy bastards sent you.
Driver interviews, pit action, industry news. We're bringing you everything that fuels the adrenaline-pumping world of dirt track racing. Buckle up now. You're sitting with the slimy bastard.